Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Talking Craps. Tonight, it's our, I don't know what you call it. It's been a few weeks since we've been on the air, so it's good to be back. We've got a very casual show for you tonight. I've got a very special guest joining us from the Craps Nation, and we're going to talk a little bit about Colorado. We're going to talk a little bit about Las Vegas, and we're going to get to know the Craps Nation very own Slambright. Mr. Lambert,
boy.
Welcome to the show.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so you guys can see that he is in Las Vegas right now. You've got the high roller back behind you, and that is not a green screen, guys. That is the real deal. He is Sin City and living large out there.
Something like that.
Something like that. All right, so just this is the normally the way that I do this show is I have a panel of people or a single person that I do an interview, kind of a personal interview. But this is going to be just a little bit different because Slambright was with us in Colorado, and now he's out there in Las Vegas. So he's going to be able to help give us a trip report on both cities and both trips. And we're also going to spend a little bit of time kind of getting to know Slambright. So if you have any questions specifically for him, be sure to put them in the comments, and we'll get him out here so he can address them for you.
Appropriate questions.
Well, yeah, I just saw Altitude Gambler. My phone just broke when Slam came on the screen.
What's up, Altitude, sir?
All right, so let's start kind of going back to Denver, up in the Blackhawk area. It's been about 2 weeks now since we were out there. Several members of the Craps Nation got together. We had, let's see here, who else did we have? We had Mel from Craps Hawaii. We had Sleepy 2525, Rick from Let It Roll, Bird Dog, myself. You were able to come out there. Altitude Gambler was out there.
That's right.
Senior Moo and his wife made an appearance. And a couple of other people from the Craps Nation that don't necessarily have YouTube channels. Well, Ting, we had Ting. He does have his own YouTube channel.
That's right.
And then let's see here, a couple of people that we met. Chauncey Clark, I got to meet him for the first time. Rudy from the Color Up Club came out and joined us, as well as Jeremy from Color Up also came out and spent a little time with us. And it wasn't my first rodeo in Blackhawk. Actually, Blackhawk is one of my favorite places to gamble, especially if I'm going to be gone for an entire weekend. And
it is a great town.
Yeah. In fact, my little brother, I'll give him a shout out right now. He's on his way to Blackhawk right now. So I wish he could have come down there when we were there, but I wish him well.
I was going to say, I wish I could be going there too, but I'm stuck in Las Vegas.
Stuck in Vegas, man. what a horrible thing to be. But speaking of stuck, I don't know if you knew this, but I got stuck in Blackhawk. Did you know that?
I did hear about that in the chat. That was crazy.
Yeah. So I was supposed to leave on bright and early Monday morning so I could get home and be at work on Tuesday. But we got about 8 inches of snow. And
we did.
And, being up in the mountains and coming from the flat country of Kansas, it just didn't feel safe to leave. At least that's what I told myself. It's not safe. You better stay.
Yeah, it's when you're in Colorado, that kind of weather, like it will hit at a moment's notice. And because it does that, the highway patrol and the entity that keeps the roads clear, they don't have a lot of warning, and so those roads will get icy real quick. And when you're going through the canyon, that is no bueno.
Yeah, and I something I wasn't familiar with was tire chain laws.
Yes.
I didn't realize it was a law. I don't have tire chains.
Yes.
So
yes, chain law is a thing in Colorado. So
yeah. All right. So if you guys will indulge me for just a minute, I put together a little 3 minutes in Blackhawk video that I'd like to share with you, and it really does kind of show the camaraderie that we had. I'll just let the video speak for itself. Good morning, Craps Nation. All right, the road to Black Hawk begins now. It's going to be a bright, sunny day. Looks like it's going to be a great day for a road trip. All right, yeah. So that was 3 minutes, summed up about 3 days worth of fun up in the mountains, and kind of a shout out to everybody that was able to attend. I talk to you guys
Absolutely.
every day, all day, every day, and it's just not the same. When you get to actually meet these people, spend some time with them, have a good meal, and actually play the game that we really like to play. Plus a few slots. You saw us playing slots
Right.
out there. And then I also have to give a shout out to Century Casino. Rick from Let It Roll, he and I went and talked to the general manager and got it approved to actually video live while we were there. And I've got about 3 hours worth of live footage that I'll be editing and posting out at some point. Unfortunately, it picked up a lot of music in the background, and we've got a lot of copyright strikes. So I've got the footage. I just need a little time to work on it, and I'll get it posted out there. But Century Casino up in Central City, they were basically our host. They were our home base to work from, and it was a great crew. Out of all of the places that we played that weekend, Century City was the best to us. Not financially, but they were really good to us. Can't say that for everybody though.
Yeah.
So Slambright, I kind of want to go back. What was the name of the casino that had that restaurant that we met at breakfast?
Oh my goodness.
I remember the restaurant's name was Millie's Cafe, but I can't remember the name.
Millie's Cafe. It was, man.
I
I have
can't
no
remember
idea.
what it was.
It was a bad memory, so I must be suppressing it.
Yeah, it was an experience, that is for sure. So
that is definitely one way to put it.
We arrive early in. Oh, it wasn't too early. Actually, it was probably around 9 a.m. or maybe even a little bit later than that for breakfast. And it took a long time to seat 9 of us, and due to the COVID restrictions, they couldn't sit us together. We had to break us up a little bit, and that's fine. We understood that we didn't have any problems with that. But they were extremely strict. I have never been somewhere that was so strict. In fact, there was one point where I stood up, and I think it was to call you, if I remember right. And man, I got a tongue lashing. He said, "If you're standing up, you have to wear a mask, sir."
Yeah, they don't mess around with that.
Okay. And then
the governor of Colorado just recently, in his last communication to the state about COVID, basically told us that we suck at stopping the spread. So yeah, they are going pretty hardcore about it. But
so let's talk about that.
I will say that I did feel that if I was about this far away from having somebody come out and slap my hand with a ruler, so
yeah.
It was a unique experience, to say the least.
Well, I that's right. I had to call you and let you know that don't let it be known that you know us, because one of the rules that they had was that you can't have parties more than 10 people. Well, that doesn't make any sense. They were breaking you up and sitting you in different areas anyways. So why does it matter what your party size was? They were going to have to ask us to leave if we had more than 10 people. So not the best eating experience ever, but the food was pretty good. And I'm trying to be nice.
I've had better.
You've had better, yeah. Okay, the food was pretty cheap. We'll say it that way.
It was that.
But that was actually the first inkling that something wasn't going quite right over the weekend. When we first got there, we had planned on meeting at the lodge. So we had set aside some time from 2 to 4 p.m. to meet anybody that was going to come in, and we could play craps with them. We could sit down and have a chat with them, whatever we could do. Well, we got there and had started to hear the rumors that the lodge removed their table, not closed it. They removed them. I think they had 2 tables, if I remember right.
Rid of it.
Yeah. So Sleepy and Ting and I, we walked down there, and sure enough, those tables were gone. And we talked to one of their pit bosses, asking, what's the deal? And they don't know. They were hearing all sorts of rumors, just like we were. Anything from the governor is going to shut down all craps and all roulette. We heard that. We heard that some of the casinos that removed their tables had an outbreak. Rumors flying everywhere and no facts. No facts at all.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop with the lodge. Mardi Gras and I think it's called the Grand Casino, their sister property. Is it Grand?
Grand Z?
No. Golden Casino or Golden.
Oh, Golden Gates.
Golden Gates. Okay. Golden Gates and Mardi Gras. They removed their tables as well. So something is happening, and we just don't have the facts.
Right.
But Century City, they kept their table open, and we did pretty well. We also went and played at the Grand Z late that night after you had left us. You and Senior Moo had already headed down the mountain, and it was another very rough session. And normally I don't like to say bad things about people, But guys, that place was the rudest crew I think I have ever encountered. And I've encountered some pretty rude crews. They did not want to be there. We were throwing money at them left and right as tips, trying to change the attitude of the table. It wasn't working. And it was just a bad experience for everybody.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
The last time I was at Grand Z before the Blackhawk weekend, they didn't even have the craps tables open. So it's it's difficult in the industry right now because obviously when you're working those table games, you're working in proximity with other people, and you know no one wants to catch the virus. So
yeah, I don't blame them for trying to protect things. None at all. I encourage that. But I draw the line when they're rude.
There's a level of decorum that you should be striving to achieve because obviously the crews, their number one reason for being is to protect the casino, obviously. But number two is if you're running a table that's rude and uninviting, no one's going to put their money down on it. And then the casino is basically paying you to stand there and look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be that effort to go and make it an engaging experience for the people who are putting their money down on the table, who, statistically are not going to walk away with a lot of it, if any.
Yeah. So I saw we had a comment from Mike with dice. He just asked the question, where were you throwing the dice? And Mike, we were actually all over Central City and Blackhawk. The Century Casino is where we played the most. But where we're talking about right now, where we had where we encountered the rude dealers, that was the Grand Z. Just not my favorite place to play. It's a shame. Table was a great table. It was a great table, but we still lost quite a bit of money. And I think it was really the mental side of the game. And nobody was having fun. It was, it's one of those that you're coached to take a look at the chip rails. Does anybody have any money out there? What's the attitude of the table? We should have walked. We should have never played.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's difficult. Especially, everybody came there. They want to play craps. They want to play craps with members of the Craps Nation. And there weren't a lot of opportunities because of the time frame, which, obviously nobody saw that weekend of paranoia was coming. But like you said, the signs were everywhere. Personally, Century Casino, the guy who was the box man,
Leaf.
I know him. Leaf. I know him personally. I've played poker with him for years here in the Denver metro area. And I was glad to see a friendly face. It would have been nice if there was a second craps table at Century. And their table game area was very small. It was very cramped. And that was one of the things that led me to leave because, I like being around crap. I like being in the Craps Nation, but crowds aren't my thing. And it was very crowded.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't the best conditions. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So you brought up Leaf. I'm going to bring up we're going to change subject for just a little bit, for just a moment, but we're going to stick on Colorado. So during the elections this last couple of weeks, there was a initiative on the ballot, Initiative 257, where the citizens of Colorado got to vote on increasing the casino bet limits within the three different gambling centers inside of Colorado. Now, this initiative passed, but it doesn't necessarily mean things are going to change just yet. When we were talking to Leaf about this, Leaf explained to us that If it passes, the municipalities, the three different municipalities, will have to vote to raise the limits. Right now, it's capped
Correct.
out at $100, which
Correct.
for a low roller like me, that's fine. I very rarely get up that high anyway. But we had
Yeah.
a couple of gamblers with us that $100 is almost their initial starting bet. So there was
Right.
nowhere for them to go. They couldn't raise their bets, and it hurt their game. So,
Sure.
like I said, this initiative did pass, and it could be a very good thing for Colorado because the Blackhawk and Central City area, it's not small. There are quite a few casinos. I think there's 13 casinos within about a 3 or 4 mile stretch. Several of them are even within walking distance. This could attract more players to that location. So,
Right.
you know, you're from the Colorado area. Are you hearing anything? Have you heard? What are the rumors or about the different cities? Do you think they're all going to increase, or some of them might?
So, I mean, I think that Rick from Let It Roll would probably be a better person to ask about Cripple Creek because that's down in his neck of the woods. However, the I and just to clarify, the initiative that was placed on the ballot for November was Amendment 77, and it by itself doesn't raise the betting limits. What it does is, right as of right now, um, any changes to gaming in the state of Colorado has to be approved by a statewide vote. What Amendment 77 did is it takes the requirement of everyone to vote on it statewide and puts it in the hands of the residents of Cripple Creek, Black Hawk, and Central City. And you would actually saw a lot of the casino company, the corporations that hold casinos like in Atlantic City, in Colorado, here in Vegas, they contributed heavily to get that passed because the prevailing theory in Colorado is obviously that higher limits mean more crime. And so they want to put it in the hands of the people of the city because they want it to go up. Because if you can spend more money, people are going to bring more money. And they're hoping that it ends up being a win win for everyone involved.
Well, what I found interesting about Central City and Blackhawk is there is nothing else other than casinos. Uh,
Nothing.
yeah, I don't foresee a lot of crime like theft, unless it's like
Right.
pickpocketing and normal things that would probably occur anyway. So,
Yeah.
I'll be optimistic and say I wouldn't think that the crime is going to increase drastically, or at least it's probably worth a bit of the risk to
Right.
infuse that industry in the state of Colorado.
Right.
I love it that we have centers around the United States. We've got Vegas, we've got Atlantic City, we've got Biloxi, Tunica,
Right.
and Colorado. So we have a pretty good center within a few hours of just about everybody within the United States.
Right.
So. All right, I think let's pause here for just a second. I'm going to come over to this comments and pull some of these in. I'm going to scroll back up here. We'll start with Let It Roll, saying, "Who's that sexy cat you're interviewing?" Followed by Altitude Gambler throwing up. So if you're just tuning in, guys,
it's a quality production, Dave.
It is a quality production. That's right. So for those of you who might just be tuning in, we have a very special guest tonight. We have Slambright from the Craps Nation joining us. His home base is out of Colorado, but he does get to travel a little bit, and can't really see it in his picture right now, but he is sitting in Bally's hotel room with the high roller behind him and the Flamingo Hotel also. So he's out in Vegas, and he's going to give us a trip report of Vegas here in just a few minutes. All right, let's see here. And the slamming Slambright continues with Patty out there. How drunk are you, Rick?
Oh my God. What's up, Irish?
Let's see here. We got Mike with dice. He's not familiar with these. He's in Arizona. Not sure what other part of the country. Yeah. So we're talking about Colorado at the moment.
Colorado.
About 40 miles west or 40 minutes west of Denver, up in the mountains. How many craps tables do they have inside Century City? Only one. Yeah, and it's not open all the time. Yeah.
No.
Let's see here. Mike's always wanted to go to Cripple Creek. I've actually never played craps in Cripple Creek. I drove through there one time and played a few slots, but that's on my bucket list to get back out there with Rick from Let It Roll and play in Cripple Creek.
I definitely want to go there. Rick apparently Cripple Creek and Bronco Billy's is the place where everybody knows his name.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see here. Daniel Herrera go to Vegas twice a month, but would play locally in Blackhawk if they raise their limits. Well, I think there's a really good chance you're going to get to. Yeah. And the downside of that, I think one of the fears is that since they're raising their limits, or raising their high end of the limits, are they going to raise the table limits as well? Are we going to lose all of the $5 tables?
It's possible,
right?
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, Amendment 77 doesn't go into law until May 5th of next year.
Ooh, okay.
So, I mean, we still have some time, but only time will tell, as it were.
Yeah. All right, Texas Craps Shooter. I'm gonna crucify you here. Texas sucks. It was nice knowing you.
Hey, there's one of mine right there.
Oh yeah, Altitude Gambler Bronco Billy's is the best.
Nice.
And Mike, Mike's saying he watches Let It Roll all the time, and we have Let It Roll here watching us tonight. You're going to play at Bronco Billy's with us one day, Mike. Yep.
Yes.
We need to form another Craps Nation meetup at this time in Cripple Creek and see how we fare down there.
An expedition.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Slambright, let's change gears, and why don't you give us a little bit of a rundown of how things are going for you in Vegas?
Well, so
that good,
huh? So basically, I made the plans to go to Vegas about back in the mid to late part of August. I bought the plane ticket and I was starting to put everything together. Obviously, life happens, and I was just like, well, maybe I'll push the Vegas trip. But I managed to, with some fiscal magic, come up with a $600 bankroll, and was like, I already have the ticket, whatever. Was coming out here because Throwing Thunder brought his family to celebrate the anniversary of his marriage, and I was just like, I need a weekend away. So, but the first day was bad. The second day, also bad. But I did go on a little bit of a rally today. First day was at Bally's. I'm not going to trash a property over YouTube, but let's just say that I'm not impressed. And it's down. Anybody who is in the Craps Nation chat, Craps chat on Skype, knows how I feel about the Golden Nugget. And Bally's is like not all the way down there, but it's definitely neighbors with the Nugget on my dump list. Second day, so just to clarify, I'm here with Senior Moo and his wife. We both got in on Saturday. So we did Bally, we went downstairs to Bally's together. Second day, we met Yo Girl, Evelyn, and we met her at South Point. South Point actually had $5 tables, which was nice. Bally's was a $25 minimum. Ugh. Um, and South Point actually also has a nice buffet. So we sat, we talked, got to know Evelyn a little bit. She is a great lady. And then we went over to the craps tables and proceeded to continue contributing to the Make Vegas Great Again fund. So not too much, but I was down to about $160 of the money that I brought to gamble with. That's always my thing. I come with the amount of money that I'm willing and able to lose. And once that pocket is done, it's done. So I took that 160 and we went to the plaza this morning to go eat at the Hash House. And while we were waiting, it was a 45-minute wait to get in there. Definitely worth it. We are going again tomorrow. But Senior Moo and I hit the tables, and I actually got up to $225. I was like,
Nice.
yes. We ate a delicious, well, I had a breakfast. And Moo and his wife, they had lunch stuff. And we went back to the tables. And when we got there, we were joined by Clay, who everyone knows as East Coast Craps, and Yo Girl. And we played a little bit, and I got up to 296. And of course, because I'm a degenerate gambler, I proceeded to start giving it back to the casino. Went on a little rally, and now I'm at 256. So, a win is a win is a win, right?
That's right. At least you're up for the day. So
Up for the day. And I've got a positive attitude going into tomorrow.
but you said one thing that caught my attention. The Hash House. I've never eaten there. How is eating? What are the restaurants like in the COVID era? Are they some of them closed? Or everything open?
So, the Hash House, like most restaurants, they have they have tables separated, and any booths they have are like one booth open, one booth closed, etc. Um, so I mean, it like everything is socially distanced. You don't get to take off your mask until you're actually seated at the table, which um, the the problem is that, and I'll say this is my one complaint about Vegas. There's smoking everywhere. And so the combination of smoke and mask, it kind of makes it hard to breathe. But I will say though, Hash House was amazing, and we are definitely. Yo Girl has us reservations tomorrow for breakfast again, and I'm probably not going to have the same thing. But what I did have was absolutely fantastic.
So you've got a question out there from Patty. Did you meet up with Thunder?
Of course, I didn't meet up with Thunder because he ghosted us like he usually does.
All right. Well, Thunder's not here to defend himself. We'll have to get him on and get his story later.
Uh-huh. Nothing but love for my boy Thunder. He is here with his family. He's got his wife and his kids with him, and it's their anniversary. And as much as I would love to monopolize his time and make the casinos regret letting us in together, I'm not going to give him too much crap.
Awesome. All right, just real quick shout out to Let It Roll. Thank you, Rick. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. All right, let's go back. So I talked to you, I think it was yesterday, and asked if you had any plans to go to Circa. Have you walked by or have you gone in? Anything you could tell us about Circa?
I've seen the Circa property. It is beautiful. The way they built it, it's very aesthetically pleasing. I haven't been in it. I don't know if I'm planning on going in it while I'm here this time. But like we are, a couple of us do have plans for January, and so might come back and actually go there then. I think that if I remember correctly, Yo Girl and Clay were planning on having lunch there at their burger restaurant today. So we'll have to go into the Crafts chat and see if they actually did that.
You're getting a couple of suggestions out there in the chat. Daniel Ellis says or Daniel Herrera says play Ellis Island, and you're very close to it. If you're at Bally's,
Yeah.
I believe it's right behind Bally's, maybe a block away at the most. And I've heard actually great things about their craps tables there.
We were Ellis Island was recommended to us as well, so we might give it a try.
Oh yeah, it looks like Daniel's actually going to be in Vegas on Thursday.
Oh well, unfortunately, I'm headed back Wednesday. It's always great to meet another member of the Craps Nation. Maybe next time.
Awesome. And you've got Altitude Gambler out there saying, "Hit up Project Barbecue at Circa." Now, normally I would say,
might have to do it.
What does somebody from Denver know about barbecue? But I'll cut him a little slack.
Well, I mean, Oklahoma doesn't have much, so I guess we'll have to let you have a little bit of barbecue.
Oh, but I'm in Kansas now, buddy. We got KC barbecue not too far away.
Hey, well then, yeah, there you go. You definitely have the monopoly on barbecue there.
Yeah. Then we've got Don G, 350 night single occupancy at Circa. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to spend that much money. Yeah.
It's like I said, it's a beautiful property. I've made the joke that I'll never go there because they named their parking structure the Garage Mahal, and
awesome.
And but everything that you see about it in the advertisements on social media and here in Vegas, the pool area is beautiful and it is large. They have, I believe they have like this large projection on one of the walls that shows sports games. So Circa minimums were 15 today. Didn't play. Hey, what's up, Clay? So apparently Clay and Yo Girl did go to Circa for lunch. So
awesome. We'll have to get both of them on the show and get a trip report from them maybe in the next week or so.
Yeah,
got a couple of other questions or comments coming in. The Grand has $10 tables from Scott Buddha.
Nice. We've been seeing $10 tables, quite a bit. Most of it is off strip, though.
Yeah. Altitude Gambler defending his barbecue statements. He's closer to Texas than he is from Denver. Okay, we'll catch you some slack on that one. Let's see here. Daniel Herrera, they have friendly dealers at Ellis Island. Okay. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not leaving until Wednesday, so maybe Ellis Island is something that we try out tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, so let's turn a little bit more personal and get to know who is Slambright. So for anybody that's been around on our Craps chat or some of the Discord channels out there, there's no way that they haven't heard of Slambright. Let's see here. How's the best way to put it? You add flavor and character to a chat, any chat that you are in, and I'm going to say this on behalf of everybody. Thank you. You make the Craps chat fun. You added, a degree of levity that's well needed. That's very desperately needed, especially in these times.
Yeah, definitely.
We're all very proud to call you our friend, and enjoy having you around, Slambright. So
okay.
So I'm feeding your ego there a little bit,
but it's getting deep in here.
So let's talk a little bit about your past and How did you get involved in the game of craps? What attracted you to it?
So I the first time I played craps was in 2008. And I was working a menial job and was trying to get promoted to be a team leader so I didn't have to be on the phone. And my boss approached me and said, "Hey, I'm going up to Blackhawk this weekend. Do you want to come with me?" And so, of course, I'm just like, "Yeah, I love Blackhawk." So I ended up going with him. A couple of us went, and he wanted to play craps. And like I knew what craps was. Oh, thank you, Rick. You are awesome, sir. I appreciate that. Um, I knew what craps was. I had absolutely no idea how it was played. And so obviously, like every single first timer, there was a person on the table that went on it was somewhere between 40 to 45 to 50 rolls before they sevened out. And I had like very little money on the table and missed out on the profit opportunity of a lifetime.
Oh no.
But the thing that attracted me to the game, and I know that this is going to sound weird given like the attitude that I bring to the Skype chat and everything like that, is craps is a game where it fosters a fellowship at the table. If I don't know if any of you will like go to a casino and there's an empty craps table and you'll throw on your own. Craps is a completely different and, in my opinion, better experience when there are other people around you, regardless of how they're betting. If they're betting against you, if they're betting with you, if they're doing their own thing that has nothing to do with the way that you're shooting or they're shooting, etc. Um, the wins when other people are at the table are better. The losses are easier to handle. You know, if you're just by yourself, you've lost money. If you're with a crowd of people who've lost money, then there's almost an implied camaraderie that I find very appealing. Um,
I would
it's
have to agree with you.
Yeah.
At these small casinos that I usually play in Oklahoma, we have farmers and ranchers and businessmen. We have all a very diverse crowd that gets along very well. There's no politics. There's just
Right.
having fun. And what I
Exactly.
love about my local casinos is it's very common to see somebody making a bet for somebody else. It
Exactly.
becomes a group activity. It's not just you against the world. Uh, it,
Right.
it there's no other casino game like it.
Yeah.
Really quick, I want to
It's
go out there. This is another comment that I want to bring up here from North Florida Dice. Slambright is the spice in the rice.
uh that I've never heard something like that before. I'm going to have to use it
Yeah.
sometime this sometime this week.
And we
That's
got
good. I
fives
like
out
it.
there. Some playing the don't. Your opinion might change. Well, that's true. It might, but
I
I'm
mean,
not a dark side player.
so 555. Uh crap, sorry.
All right. While you're
I
resetting there, I was going to
I
say I'll get.
recognize 555. I see him commenting on Big AZ stuff and some other channels. I don't always play the pass or the don't pass. I'll read the table. If it looks like if the looks like the table is going chilly, I will play the don't. I have no problems with that. In the end, if I'm not hitting anything, but somebody else is hitting like their hard way that they parlayed from the previous hard way. It's not like it provides an avenue to be happy for somebody else's success. Because in other table games, such as blackjack, the way one person plays can affect you either positively or negatively. In blackjack or in craps, it is every single person at the table against the house. And I like that. There's a teamwork there.
Yeah. Yeah. Really quick, uh, Fives and I have had a conversation. We exchange emails quite a bit about playing the dark side, and last week he gave me a little bit of grief because I labeled myself as a recreational gambler,
Mm-hmm.
and I set the dice and I tried my best, and I like playing the right side, or I don't know, the light side. I'm not really sure what you call it. I play the do's, right? I
Right.
don't play the don'ts very often, only because it affects my mental game. Eh,
Mm-hmm.
I, it is what it is, and that's one of the best things about this. The diversity of this game
Exactly.
is immense. Yeah,
There's so many different strategies. There are dark strategies, there's light strategies, there are regress strategies, progress strategies,
yeah,
and in the end, you're there to have fun. If you have fun playing the dark side, by all means, play the dark side. Statistically, it's a better bet than playing the light side. The wins on the light side, because statistically you're more likely to lose when you hit that frontline winner. It feels amazing. Craps can be anything and everything to all sorts of different people, and I think that is one of the reasons why it's such a socially engaging game.
yeah. Well, you're kind of touching on one of the subjects that, or one of the questions that I wanted to ask you. Do you have a go-to strategy, one that you usually either start with, or maybe switch to if things are not going your way?
A go-to, not really, until within the last month or two. um I've grown an affection for reinforce if I'm looking at a shooter that looks capable, I will pair a field bet with a come bet, and obviously the field and the come protect each other a little bit if the seven comes or a craps number comes. But if you hit a point number with it, then you have that opportunity to earn a little bit of extra money without having to pay for the vig on the buy, which I like. But a tried and true slam strategy, no, not really. I go with what feels good at the time.
Yeah, we've seen
Like
you
for
make some very
for
large bets in fantasy craps, and I
right,
got to remind everybody, it's fantasy craps. It's a opportunity for us
fantasy,
to bet in ways that we wouldn't bet in the real world. But I was
right.
just kind of curious if you do ever go that crazy on the real tables.
No. And I guess to really answer your question as to what my favorite strategy is, I will say this, and I've said it in the crafts chat. I've said it everywhere else. My favorite strategy is know your shooter. Come in don't watch what people say, watch what they do.
Mhm.
If you see somebody who's grabbing the dice and rubbing them against the table or stacking them or whatever and just like giving it like some willy-nilly toss, is that the kind of person that I'm going to risk a ton of my own money on? No, absolutely not. If it's someone like George, who I know spends hours and hours every single day perfecting that grip, perfecting that send, looking at percentages and improving his game. Would I take $640 across on George in real money and press the crap out of it until he hit roll 20 and start just collecting at that point? Absolutely 100%. Without, I wouldn't even hesitate because I know who George is as a shooter.
Yeah, but George would also be the first one to remind you is play responsibly and make sure you're only betting on money that you can't afford to lose. Yeah.
Well, that is true as well. But I will. I'll take out a second mortgage on the house to have a bankroll to go with George to Vegas.
I think most of us would do the same. All right,
Yeah.
we only have a couple of minutes left before we're at the top of the hour, and there's still a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
I, how did you find Craps Chat? How did you find the Craps Nation community?
So I found it through Throwing Thunder. And obviously, everyone who's in the Skype chat with us knows that Thunder is my brother. We crap on each other all the time, but you know, I would, I'd stand at a craps table with that dude no matter what. Uh, he's a good guy. I actually met Throwing Thunder in the Color Up Club with Jeremy. Um, I joined their Discord, and like I had I had met people, like I met you for the first time in the Color Up Club. I met Senior Moo for the first time in the Color Up Club, Thunder, and then Thunder said, you should join us over here, and I joined, and there, I met George and all of the other members of the Color Up Club, and as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah.
So yeah, I came to Craps Nation via the way of the Color Up Club.
Yeah, and I'll put some links to how to find us on Skype in the Craps Chat. It is really entertaining and educational forum
Yes.
that we have this brotherhood and sisterhood of craps players, and we just have a good time. It's fun.
Yeah.
Encourage anybody who's interested in it to join. And he also mentioned something called Discord, and there is
Right.
a Discord channel that's loosely associated with what we call the Craps Nation. And the Craps Nation is nothing more than craps players. It's not a formal membership. It's not a club. It's just
Right.
something that we use to clarify or identify we're craps players.
Who we are. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think, given 2020, having this group of like-minded individuals who are able to be there and support each other through, yes, Irish, it is Thunder's fault, 100%. um, who are able to be there and support each other, not just on the table, but I'm not going to bring up anybody's business here on the show, but I think one of the things that I appreciate most about the Craps Nation, and the brotherhood that we have through, or and sisterhood, obviously, don't want to alienate our female players, um, is we're able to share the personal hardships that we're all, like all of us are. 2020 isn't making an exception for anybody, and everyone is having hard times, and being able to reach out and saying, I'm going through this right now, and I would appreciate some hope, some prayers, advice. I recently just had a need to reach out for a lot of advice, and was able to make a great decision because of it. Having the people there that I can discuss this thing that I enjoy doing as a hobby, and actually having actual friends there has been nothing more than a godsend for me this year in particular.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more. What started out as this kind of a common bond through a game has turned into some significant friendships that
Absolutely.
that just mean the world to everybody. I don't mean to be on too somber of a note, but we do have some members of our Craps Nation that are going through some very tough times, and
Yeah.
just knowing that you have over 100 people out there that are throwing out the prayers and best wishes, it's
Yeah.
powerful,
It is.
and it's helpful. So it's more than just a name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. All right. So
So,
we are up at the top of the hour. Is there anything that you want the Craps Nation to know about who you are or what's next for Slambright?
um, well, I mean, the plan at this point is, I'm leaving here on Wednesday. Uh, at this point, we are hoping to come back out in January. I know that Thunder is planning on coming out. Midnight Train Ted, say his name, is planning on being out in January, and in the end, I would love to I would love to win a bunch of money, but um, just being able to be around these people that a I respect, and b I shut up, Moo. Oh my god.
So for anybody who didn't know, Senior Moo is in the room,
Yeah.
adding his color commentary.
Uh-huh. So, being able to be with, these people that I begrudging, is not the word. I actually do respect uh, most everybody. I mean, obviously, we all have the ones that we talk about, but I can honestly say that there isn't a member of the Craps Nation that I have any real problem with, and anything short of like an actual like for. So I am just going to go. Like, my plan as of this point is to get the heck out of 2020 with my skin still on, and make a better year. So
That sounds like a good plan to me.
yeah.
Yep.
What about you?
Yeah, just want to get through this year, get
Yeah.
to some semblance of normal again. I don't like the new normal. But yeah, so we don't want to digress too much into that. Keep this positive. And I think Senior Moo and Mrs. Moo out there might be ready to have some fun.
Yeah, apparently they are about to have some fun. I think uh, we are being invited to dinner. So yay,
Awesome.
Vegas.
All right.
But
So
hey, I appreciate you giving me the chance to chat with you. I mean, I know it sounds sarcastic when I say the words quality production, but like, this is a quality production, and I when whether I'm like talking with you and Evelyn Ting, or just like the conversation that I'm having with you today, I love this show, and so I'm going to keep watching it, and I hope everybody else continues as well.
well, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. All right, guys. So that's going to do it. We had our trip reports from Colorado and live from Las Vegas. We want to wish Slambright, Senior Moo, Mrs. Moo, who else we have? East Coast Craps, Yo Girl. Wish you guys the best of luck in the rest of your days there out in Vegas, and looking forward to hearing your trip reports. Hopefully, we get some pictures from you with some chips in those racks, and we'll talk again soon. All right, guys. Hopefully, have another show next Monday, and thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to y'all later.
Have a great night, everybody.